Hey folks, welcome back to another episode. So, if you all heard, we have a new president of the United States of America. I don't know what may happen because when the Black Lives Matters stuff went down, California went into riots, the world went into riots. And now, excuse me, and now with the whole election thingy, we may have riots, we may not have riots, so don't know, and that's going to be up in the air. But anyways, this is not a podcast for election talk. I'm going to move that one over to my other podcast. Today, we're going to talk about a story. I'm trying to get to it. Okay. Alright. Now, if you are of Mexican descent, at some given point in time, you may have heard of La Lechuza. No, not La Lechuga. La Lechuza. Lechuga is lettuce. La Lechuza is not a demon, but a creepy bird-like, owl-like looking lady. So let's start. And I think I'm getting sick. I could feel it in my throat. And I sound like crap. So pray to God that I don't have anything. So let's begin. Has Lechuza ever called your name? Now, Latinos in California known better than to whistle 3 times at midnight, because that's the invitation for one of the most fearsome Mexican paranormal entities ever, La Lechuza. Now, the haunting the former part of Mexico, haunting the former area known as San Diego. She haunts the sky after dusk, swooping down and carrying away people she fixates on. So I'm looking at a picture of La Lechuza, and it's a picture of an old lady with I want to say bird-like features, a beak, almost owl-like. Now, who is La Lechuza? A real witch or just a legend? Now, in Spanish, the way it is written, it says a real bruja, because bruja is witch, or just a legend. So, La Lechuza is an old witch, a bruja, who sold her soul to the devil in exchange for magical powers. As a result, she can transform herself into a large bird. Bingo! INGO. However, she can be identified by her head, which is that of a hideous old woman. Some legends state that the multiple women act as lechuzas in their territories, flying through the night to find prey. Some say she's just a myth. Others believe differently. Another version of the story states that she was once a witch that was murdered by the locals. Seeking revenge, she took this form. Another one claimed that the Lechuza is the vengeful spirit of a woman who returned from her grave for the sole purpose of tormenting the living. I hope I come back as La Lechuza, because I want to torment the living. If I can't torment them when I'm alive, best believe I'm going to be tormenting them when I'm dead. Now, let's talk about the dangerous Lechuza sounds. Okay, it doesn't matter where she's from, doesn't matter where the legend originated, that doesn't matter. The end story is always the same. Okay, so keep that in mind. It doesn't fucking matter where she came from. She's gonna get you no matter what. Now, in the Mexican terrorist part, she would perch herself where she cannot be seen, and then she would attack her prey through strange whistles and sounds of a crying infant. Now, there is a video on YouTube about taking place in Mexico, where this guy is walking the street around 3 a.m. and you can hear a baby crying out of the middle of nowhere, and you hear him saying, "Hey, that's a baby crying," and this is loud. It's like if this baby's crying into a freaking mic, and it's just blasting out. I was like, wow, okay. Now, anyone who dares to step out of their home to find... Hold on, I lost it again. To find the source of the sound would then become dinner. So if this dude went looking for La Lechuza, he wouldn't be alive, supposedly. Now, some stories claim that the witch bird would swoop down at cars traveling down deserted roads at night. I don't know. Now, how to ID and protect yourself from La Lechuza? Now, the Lechuza has been known to summon storms. Well, shit. We had a major storm this morning. That must have been the La Lechuza. No, seriously. I had thunder and lightning this morning, and I'm in California. This legend starts in California. Therefore, if you notice thunderstorms out of the ordinary, chances are she's behind them. Now, if you see a large owl, a bird that many believe to be the origin of this Mexican legend, lock yourself up, don't come out, regardless of how loud the unseen baby cries throughout the night. Well, first and foremost, if you're somewhere and you're locked inside and you hear a baby crying outside, I wouldn't open the door. Because that could be one of a million different things. That could be some mother, using her baby as bait to get you to open the door and try to kidnap you and kill you. Hello, Mexico is known for human trafficking and body, like drug body stuff like that. No. You be idiotas if you believe that. So don't open the door. To defend yourself from La Lechuza, use salt as she fears it badly. I already do that. Salt the doors, salt the windows. Nothing can come in. Okay? You should also begin cussing her out upon hearing her to call to drive her away. So if you hear her, you start yelling, "Motherfucker, get your fucking ass out of here, you fucking bitch." Yeah, F-bombs, you need to cuss them out. That's what it says to do. But that'd be a typical normal thing for me. Just don't try to be brave and face her because, not many people lived. According to respected mystics and mediums, Now, when they say respected mystics and mediums, I'm having a difficult time believing that these respected and mystics and mediums have a reason. I don't know. I'm just having a difficult time. And even the few who survive enough to talk about her legend to pass away in a few days under mysterious circumstances. So, in other words, if you see the La Lechuza and you deal with La Lechuza, you will, and you survive her deadly attacks, you will die eventually. A couple days later, several days later, but according to legend, you will die. Like I said, I don't know about this one, but you know, that's what it says. Now, let's go to the other side. Paranormal Pacific Grove. You'll only meet evil at the state beach if you have dark secrets. Ooh. Don't go to the beach if you have dark secrets, because the demon wants you. Okay, so if you're near Pacific Grove and looking for a quiet, relaxing place to enjoy the Pacific Ocean, then look no further than Aslimore State Beach. I'm from California, and I fucking butchered that. Don't kill me. The State Beach offers a cozy, sandy white beach, large rocky bluffs that are like the perfect place to perch and watch a sunset. It's more like a scenery for a romantic movie. Who wants to go to the beach and do a romantic scene? Like, I will video the whole thing. You want to get proposed? I'll record it for you. I'll do it all. But should you have any deep-seated secrets, beware. Something supernatural lurks at this beach, and it will stop at nothing to make you come clean. It's like you murdered your ex-lover because he slept with your best friend, and you go to the beach, and this dark, evil entity drives you batshit crazy in making you discuss what's going on till you come clean and admit that you murdered your ex-lover because he slept with your best friend. That's a hypothetical, sorry. Okay? I have a whole bunch of ex-lovers, but I do want to kill them all, but you know, they won't allow me to run electricity to a fucking chair. They won't allow me to run electricity to a fucking chair in water. So, and they won't let me give them injections of high potent medication because that is considered evil and dangerous, and I will die myself of high doses of potent medication. They won't let me do that. But it would be easier to put them out of their misery if they would just let me run electricity to my recliner as it sits in water. The metal frame from the recliner and the water while it runs juice. Bzzz. Bam. He's toast. But they won't let me do that. So I gotta think of another way. I told you guys, I am twisted, I am dark, and I'm hilarious. And I have a weird combo. But that's how I am. Now, here's a story of something that happened. And I'm going to read it to you, okay? Fred's wife Sandy wanted to visit the beach together to watch the sun dip below the horizon just a few weeks ago. My wife works a lot of hours, so when she comes up with something she really wants to do, I try to make it happen, Fred told us. I had packed a basket full of Caesar salads, calamari, champagne for the outing, hoping she would find dinner by the beach to be romantic. Blech. I don't do romance. It's gross. After we ate our meal and stared out to the ocean, I couldn't help but notice Sandy seeming really withdrawn. Every time I would ask her about it, though, she would just wave her hand and say, "It's nothing, just work stuff." And she'd change the subject. She spends enough hours at the office as it is, so I tried my best to get her mind off of it. As we watched the sun sink and the sky turn pink and orange all around us. Fred hesitated, turning slightly pink. I tried to be romantic with her, but every time I tried to kiss her, she turned away. Uh-oh, first sign. Anyway, after the sunset, it started to get really chilly out. The sky turned deep hues blue and purple. Should we go? If you're new to the podcast community and you want to start a new podcast and you're looking for a platform that is user-friendly, that has everything you need at your fingertips, that won't set any limits, that you can earn money, then I would recommend Anchor. Now, Anchor can be used basically anywhere. You could be in your car, you can be laying on the sofa in bed where you can edit, record and upload. You can throw in soundtracks. Everything is there for you. Now, I use it because it's user friendly and it is free, and I find it really easy to navigate without it being very confusing. Now, most platforms, before you can even try it out, you need to sign up and pick a plan. I like Anchor because I don't have to go through any of that. So I recommend it. Now, if you really want to get into it, I recommend you going to your website, anchor.fm, and, signing up. Or you can download anchor.fm from the Google Store, iTunes, and give it a try. So don't forget to go to anchor.fm, sign up, and I'll see you all in the podcast community. Should we go home now? I asked my wife. When I turned to look at her, she was staring at the waves, looking stricken. "Did you hear that?" she asked me, suddenly growing pale. I asked her what she heard. Sandy said she heard voices coming from the ocean whispering truth. But I couldn't hear anything. "Ha ha, very funny. Now can we go home?" I asked her. But Sandy was still staring out at the ocean, looking more scared than I have ever seen. I remember that I shook her a little bit, and I kept repeating her name. "Sandy, Sandy." But she kept staring out to the deep blue waves, whispering the same word, truth, over and over again. Slowly I managed to pull her to the feet and convince her that we should start walking towards the van. I just collected the basket and our shoes when she suddenly screamed, pointing out towards the shoreline. Frederick! Their white hands coming out of the ocean, she shrieked. But I couldn't see anything remotely out of the ordinary. Fred growled, shaking his head in frustration. As I all but dragged my wife to the car, she put her hands over her ears and said she couldn't stand to hear the chat anymore. She continued to say the word truth over and over and over again after we left the beach. It was later that night that she told me that she had been having an affair with a colleague for the last 6 months. She lied. The bitch lied to you, Fred. Anyways, those are our 2 stories for tonight. I give La Lechuza and 4 on the Oogie Woogie Boogie scale. And the voices, the chant from the beach, I give it 1. With that being said, I want to make sure you all like, subscribe to our podcast. Remember, share. Sharing is caring. That will help us in our ratings. The more our podcast gets shared, the better it is, and the more we jump up the scale of ratings. Podcast for the paranormal is saturated, so anything will help. Again, if you would like to donate, go ahead. There's a link in the description box. If you want to give a monthly donation, there's also a link for that. But please donate to the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. I greatly appreciate it. Donate. Don't worry about donating. If you have money, you don't have money, I'm not going to force you to donate. But please subscribe to the podcast. I'd appreciate that. With that being said, ghosty out. Have you ever wanted a podcast that is multifaceted? That your hosts are cool and down to earth. They talk about everything under the sun, including the kitchen sink, but they also are real. Well, let me tell you about Table Muscles. Now, Rob and Wolf are co-hosts, and Rob is a good friend of mine. They have a really cool podcast that, like I said, covers everything. They do conspiracy theories. They do shout outs. They support an organization or an awareness for the month. If you are going through a rough time, they make themselves available. You can hit them up with a direct message on Insta, their Facebook page. I don't know if they have a Twitter yet. But they're a really cool podcast. 2 really down-to-earth guys that keep it real. They're there for you. They talk about a lot of different things. So their podcast has a little bit of everything. Make sure you go check them out. It's Table Muscles. They're on every platform. They're on social media. Let them know that Ms. Hyde from What the Paranormal sent you. And go show them some love and support. They're fairly new, but, let's show our support and They have a little bit of everything, so they may have topics that you really enjoy. So go take a listen and see what they have. Don't forget, they're called Table Muscles, and they're on social media, and they are on all the podcast platforms. And don't forget to tell them that Miss Hyde from What the Paranormal sent you over.